Joe Budden said he gonna slap
He didn't say that, son. Don't allegedly. I told you don't start with
you got $200 million. Where you at? I ain't seen you.
He didn't say that. Joe Budden's eating. Don't get it twisted.
Hell yeah,
he eating.
The title of this video coming from Danny from the Stop. Joe Budden shoots at Charlemagne.
Comment section?
Absolutely. I would want there to be comments about it.
If there's a comment section, then I may want to take the 300 million. I'm not abandoning the fans' ability to comment for fucking 200 million. It would be fucking rude to the culture. It would be against everything I stand for. I can't be on the side of the creators if the people that helped me get to this point are not able to leave comments.
Joe, seriously, tomorrow...
I said the same thing. I'm telling you, Netflix needs a comment section. You can't build that sort of community and trust with your people without the comment section. It's not TV, but that's just me.
I respect the fact that you are men of principles.
I am.
I tell you, look, so-and-so PE firm, private equity firm, comes to us and says, guys, we're interested in owning a 51% stake in the Joe Budden Network. We want you to continue doing what you're doing for the next 7 years. That means operate the ship exactly how you are, except we're going to front load you based on your annual growth year over year. We're going to make sure you never have another thought about money again. And for our 51% stake in the company, we're going to front load you $350 million, which we feel like is a fair valuation for the next 10 years. Our next 10 years as a multiple, and give us $350 million because our actual value is, let's say, $800 million to $1 billion.
Joe Budden and Ian take shots at Charlemagne's alleged $200 million deal. It's no secret that ever since it was revealed, this alleged $200 million deal shocked the whole industry. Joe initially pretended like he was happy for Charlemagne.
Even if none of it is true, it's very important to me that somebody knew what the lie should look like.
But much like I suspected, that was to avoid looking like a hater, which he would reveal on a later episode.
I had to be very careful when all that 200 million started floating around. You could very easily paint yourself. I was supportive Sammy boy. It's like, listen, man, we got a roof for this one. That makes sense. Whenever I'm ready to hate, I go all the way the opposite. Hey, this is a big deal for black media. You gotta give it up for him.
Now, Joe isn't the only person skeptical of Charlemagne.
I feel him on that. He ain't want to,
Seemed like come off as a hater.
Yeah, he didn't want to come off as a hater. I mean, he could have still been hating in his heart. That don't take the hate out your bones.
Deal. So is Joe's manager, Ian, who in the earlier clip would reveal what he thinks about Charlemagne's deal through subtext, saying that Joe could easily receive a $350 million deal if he agreed to give up half of his company for a year-long multiple of whatever he's making. And anybody who knows, Charlemagne allegedly gave up half of his company, Black Effect, to iHeart to get this deal. Now, this is all alleged and really reported by folks that didn't provide concrete details, so I don't know. I'm just putting that out there, and I think that's what Ian and Joe are commentating on. Still, why does Joe Budden feel like he knows what Charlemagne is worth? It's almost like he thinks he has some inside information and believes that the public position of Charlemagne does not align with what people say behind closed doors in those rooms with big execs. Now, there is evidence to support this type of speculation. Let's take this clip of Joe saying that Charlemagne attempted to launch his podcast network with Spotify and was steadfastly denied.
You went out, you searched the market, you tried to get the number that you thought you were worth. I'm very aware of what happened when you attempted to go to Spotify for your network deal. They told you to suck dick.
Now, Joe is revealing what he thinks the industry believes about Charlemagne. That was a big deal for me when I listened to it at the time, and I think people didn't notice in that big nuclear level rant Joe did about Charlemagne. Charlemagne tried to, this is based on what Joe said, take his network to Spotify. And the Spotify execs probably did some assessment and said, nah. Now, the specter of this is that Charlemagne did this while Joe Budden was negotiating with Spotify. It could have been that.
It could have been just that they we already got one of you.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
Yeah, we got you. We don't need this.
Yeah,
Charlemagne was just negotiating with another company because his deal was up with iHeart. But it could also look like he was undercutting Joe and saying, hey, Spotify, if you sign me, you'll be good if Joe leaves. Now, that is just something I'm throwing out there, but it could look that way. What I always observed about Charlemagne, though, is that he is very concerned about the public perception and what people think his standing is in the industry. Charlemagne never really used to do these public displays of his deal, and he did that with Forbes. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yo, Danny, Forbes wrote the article. Well, Charlemagne showed up to the photo shoot, so he was directly invested.
He getting paid doing it for free.
I mean, it's still more promotion.
Oh, no
It also
doubt.
made him viral that week, and we're still talking about it now. I think
he made the Forbes list.
Yeah. I think that was still a smart move on him.
no
his
doubt.
behalf. And I don't think I don't think it was his concern that he wanted everybody to know how much money he had made. I think he was just playing the game.
Right. Hold on, Sam. Let's forget all that, man. Somebody knock on the door Monday. They offer us $350 million for the podcast, for 51% of this podcast. Don't Stop Comedy.
This one?
like I said, yeah, 350 mil.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you the stipulations. There's things that, there's other things.
Yeah,
that
nigga.
Maybe on the back.
No. The back end, nigga. Fuck all that, nigga. Shit. They can take this shit right now.
Son, stop, man. Get the
We
microphone
got
back.
$350 million, nigga.
It's got $350. We can
This space in terms of media. Now, another part of the evidence I have for this point is this clip here on Earn Your Leisure, where Troy says that Charlemagne doesn't own the Breakfast Club.
Technically, the Breakfast Club belongs to iHeart. You guys don't own that. So like the part of the negotiation is between iHeart and Netflix on that standpoint.
Now, Charlemagne would feel the need to address this almost immediately by saying that the Breakfast Club isn't like an NBA team and does not retain value if the co-host leaves.
It's funny when people say things like they own Breakfast Club. It's how can you own host? Like where that's the difference, right? Like we are it's not like I don't want to say it like this, but it's not like an NBA team where it's a franchise, right? Like a franchise is valuable regardless of who's in the jersey, right? It's the franchise. Like Breakfast Club is valuable because of the host.
However, one could argue that the Breakfast Club is certainly an IP and a brand that iHeart could continue to run with. The idea that they could, some
shit, y'all don't act like y'all never swapped out hosts before.
Yeah,
with the exception of you and Envy. But I mean,
right.
I always assumed because it was a radio show first that it was owned by Power 105, whatever. I didn't know that it was.
I was under the same
brand
impression
of that was owned by Charlemagne himself. That's an interesting dynamic.
Now, put in new hosts, like let's say they had Funny Marco take Charlemagne's role, keep Jess hilarious, or put some other influencer in the position of Charlemagne is significant. They could theoretically continue with the show for years to come, and Charlemagne would have no say in it because he doesn't own the name. Another understated
and that's what I thought.
part.
Okay, so he doesn't. He doesn't.
Of course not.
Right.
What he
Joe
owned the
Budden
name of the Breakfast Club?
Right, because it started way before he was the big dog he is now.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a draw. He's part of the
He
draw.
was a draw for sure. He was working with since they said he started as an intern with Wendy Williams, so he had been in the game a long time. He wasn't a nobody. He had been at a couple other radio stations before, but I never thought that it was his.
Maybe they trying to just pitch it like that. Like, yo, how you talking about the iHeart deal and Netflix with the 200 mil? Like, it's his deal.
Yeah, and it's probably intricacies in the likeness and perhaps the YouTube portion of the Breakfast Club may not actually belong to Power 105. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, I don't know if everybody was prepared to get into the podcast space and everything. It wasn't considered valuable.
Right. Well, it's blowing up now.
Well, we know that.
Charlemagne back and forth over the years is that it looks like Charlemagne and Ian have some level of disagreement between them, highlighted by their appearances on Earn Your Leisure, where they addressed each other's comments and deals.
What do you think is happening with Netflix and iHeart? I think, I'm just guessing, iHeart's having trouble making money on the audio side of all their businesses, terrestrial radio, digital. They don't know how to monetize it themselves.
Because I watched the episode with Ian, and Troy, you were bringing up the conversation you've had with iHeart. And y'all been in the iHeart system before.
Yep.
5 years ago, they wasn't asking for no video.
We here now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, but 5 years ago, they weren't asking for video.
True.
So that means that that's a new thing.
Then rewind to years ago, and in this clip, it looks like Charlemagne admonishes Joe Budden's management for not properly negotiating in a statement on their commentary with regards to Joe Budden's Spotify rant.
It sounds to me like Joe Budden is a person who knows his worth, but doesn't know how to properly negotiate it. Because if you keep doing deals with various corporations and you keep getting trash ass deals, that's on you. Like things like vacation days, bonuses, all of that has to be negotiated in your contract from the beginning.
But should that be as manager or as an agent or as an attorney?
I can't imagine Ian.
That was then, not now. Joe Free is I don't know what. He's on Patreon, ain't he?
Yeah, he is. Son, from the understanding I get, they said it allegedly Joe Budden gets $900,000 a year, son.
Not a year.
A month. Pardon me. A month.
Yeah, allegedly.
In
that ballpark. Probably some months more. You know?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Son.
Didn't take that personal. Now we arrive to today, where I think as time moves forward, so will questions about Charlemagne's deal. How does a company that has $5 billion in debt and pays its CEO and COO roughly $26 million combined manage to pay Charlemagne $200 million of anything? It's much more likely that it is an incentive-based deal that centers on hitting lofty targets and leveraging one show like The Breakfast Club against other podcasts on Black Effect that not many people seem to be listening to. Kind of like what Spotify did with Joe Rogan, as explained by DJ Academics here.
People wanted Joe Rogan so bad, they would say, hey, if you want Joe Rogan, you got to buy ads for these other podcasts that we have on here too. So people would be like, all right, fine. They would spend even up to like, say they were going to spend $1 million on ad buys for Joe Rogan show. Basically, they were leveraged to spend $1.5 million on other shows and Joe Rogan.
Make no mistake that the exchange by Joe Budden and Ian was actual commentary on Charlemagne's deal and the validity of it. I think Charlemagne doesn't even believe that $200 million number. I mean, he said it that it's not $200 million. It could be $200 million, right. But $200 million for the litany of podcasts that are under the Black Effect, which is serviced by the iHeart ad team, is a different discussion than how.
So even if it is $200 million, you still got to go through a bunch of hands.
No doubt. And a period of time. It's not like you just get it up front.
How the positioning of the deal was stated. Everybody is acting like Charlemagne got $200 million. And while Charlemagne is denying it, he's also trying to embrace it and make it seem like he did get that because it positions him directly above Joe, who was the first in this space to actually say what his deal was in the New York Times article, where it was reported that the Times person spoke to someone at Patreon. And now all of a sudden, Charlemagne is Mr. Transparency, when that wasn't always how he used to operate.
Whatever the last one was, I just don't know iHeart to ever announce deals. Where's Indy's deal? Like, where are the announcements of the deals since now we're announcing deals? Like, I am mad at it, but let's start announcing.
I want to end this video to address those that say we should just be happy for Charlemagne. We should, but that doesn't mean his deal isn't above examination or questioning. When it's all said and done, in this space, it's very unlikely anyone will make as much money off media as he did. But also remember that Charlemagne never hesitated to speak on other people's deals or their positioning in the industry in the past.
I listened to that whole rant yesterday, and at the end, he was like, hopefully we can talk today, Spotify. Because if you keep doing deals with various corporations and you keep getting trash-ass deals, that's on you.
Can Rory and Mal not do it because you won't allow them to, or because they're just not skilled enough?
No, Rory and Mal can do whatever they want.
You think they can carry one on their own?
Alone?
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I knew this beforehand, but Gillian Wallow is the highest paid black podcasters in the game.
That's not what the list says.
And they chilling. They being quiet. They don't care what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
I like that about them. They ain't in getting the
They just in their lane doing what they do.
Man, I worry about the numbers. You guys have utility.
You don't deserve a third, though.
Say what?
You don't deserve a third.
What do you mean third? What was a third? Of the
pie.
Oh, come on now.
They don't deserve a third.
Now, let me know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
The Charlemagne got that $200 million. If we do, we come around your house.
No, we not, man.
Yes,
Don't
we
say
is.
that. So we ain't gonna run down.
We come around your house, Charla.
Coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles, coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles, coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles, violence, 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 coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles,